It's time for another episode in our top 10 series. In this video today, we are going to talk about some of the best right backs in FIFA 21. If you need to get your hands on some coins to improve your ultimate team, then check out the link in the description, igvault.com, and if you use the code Kieran at checkout, you'll get yourself a pretty nice discount. As per usual in this series, I do want to invite you guys to get involved. I want to hear your top 10 or at least your top 5, so be sure to put them in the comment section down below, and also let me know which position we should cover next. I'm going to do attackers very soon, don't worry, but I'm hoping FUT Birthday is relatively soon, and I think it will be in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll do attackers, because normally that promo features a lot of good attacking options. We won't be discussing any icons in today's video. They are actually going to get their own separate video, so do look out for that at some point in the future. And it's also worth noting that we do consider value for money in these rankings as well. Okay, so in at number 10, for me at least, is Road to the Final Bruno Perez, who has got this 86 rated item, which I think is actually a really nice card. But there is one negative that holds it back for me, and that is the fact he has high low work rates. Now that might not bother you if you play very attackingly with your fullbacks, but I don't, so it's a bit of an issue because it leaves gaps in behind. But other than that, it's an excellent card both defensively and offensively as well. Super quick, really nice dribbling, and with an anchor chem style, he does become a pretty beastly looking centre back, especially in game stats wise. In at number 9 is actually a non-inform item, which might surprise some of you, but I don't think it'll surprise all of you. Ultimately, Kyle Walker is the most used right back in FIFA currently, and yeah, there's good reason for it. He is just a very good card, which fits FIFA very, very well. First of all, very quick. Second of all, for a fullback, he's actually got a bit of height about him and some good physicals on a base item. And thirdly, it's just Kyle Walker, who in literally every single FIFA has had a very, very good usable item that's had really good longevity throughout the cycle, and ultimately that's what's happened here. He's only 30k right now, and absolute bargain at that price, and ultimately, like I've already said, he will be used for many months to come just because he's a very, very solid right back, despite his stats not looking as amazing as some other right back options at this stage. Just ahead of Kyle Walker is actually an item which you can obtain for free. It is the League player Hector Bellerin, who I actually think is a very underrated right back item. Now, his strength isn't amazing, but when you give this guy an anchor chem style, it's boosted to 76, and at that point he's pretty freaking usable as a fullback. Obviously already has pretty exceptional pace, and his defensive stats are fairly solid too, and like I say, with that anchor chem style they are boosted even more. Dribbling is also quite nice on this item, and in general it's just a very solid right back option. Is it a premium elite right back? No, but it's still a very good one, and definitely worthy of a top 10 spot in my opinion. We have another Premier League right back up next, and it's actually a Team of the Year item as well. It's Team of the Year Trent, and some of you might be surprised by the ranking I'm giving this card, but there is reason behind it. First of all, value for money I do not think is anywhere near it with this card. He's like 1,000,000 coins on PlayStation and 800k on Xbox, and I don't think he's worth that at all as a right back. And ultimately in this video we are rating them as a right back. I think Team of the Year Trent is a brilliant, excellent midfielder, but as a right back I really do not rate him that highly. Still very good, but considering his overall rating, don't rate him as highly as other items. I don't know what it is either, because his in-game stats are absolutely excellent, but in-game for me just doesn't seem to work that well. And it was a similar situation in last year's FIFA. I actually packed Team of the Year Trent as an untradeable, and I barely used him. I just didn't get on with the cards. So although I do believe this item to be good, I don't think it's great, and that's why it's not ranking as highly as perhaps you may have expected. I think this also might surprise people as well, because I've actually got a couple of Premier League right backs ahead of Trent, and don't worry, not every single right back in this video is a Premier League one. We do have a lot more variation to come, I promise. Anyway, Road to the Final, João Cancelo, I think is very good this year. I don't know what it is once more about the card, because the stats are nowhere near as impressive as some of the cards that are ranked lower. But this card in game for me is just excellent. He feels quick, he feels much stronger than the in-game stats suggest. He's only got 64 strength on his card currently, but in-game for me he feels stronger. He feels very good defensively. On the ball he is solid, and he's also got really nice passing as well. I just think this card is class, and as I say, it's just a really good right back option. Also 4-star skills, which is a bit of a bonus with this item too, and yeah, I just think it's a really good right back. Okay, so let's crack into the top 5, and look, we don't have a Premier League player next. We have Dest from Barcelona, who is without doubt and by a clear mile the best right back from the La Liga in this year's Ultimate Team so far. We don't actually have that many good right back options in the La Liga, in my opinion. There is that Team of the Year nominee Navas, but I don't like the physicals on it. And there is also that, I think it was Freeze Alex Moreno, who is a solid card, but I still don't think he's like a premium right back. Whereas I think this Dest card is. Its stats are ridiculous. Physicals are already very good as a base item, so is his defending, and his pace is also really nice. And with an Anchor Chem style once more, this card becomes an absolute monster. Also, 4-star on a defender. Now, I know some people might be like, why would a weak foot matter on a defender like this? It matters when he's distributing. It also matters for clearances as well, because if you're panicking with your fullback and you go the weaker foot, obviously that clearance may not go where you want it. This guy's dribbling, by the way, for a player in general is fantastic, but for right back especially is class. Also has really nice distribution, and apart from the shooting, the guy literally has it all. It's a really nice card. You could definitely use it in midfield if you wanted it to, but I think he's an absolute premium right back. I think you all knew this card was going to feature at some point. We have headliners at James Tavernier, who, if you didn't do the SBC to get this guy, I kind of feel bad because it's a brilliant right back option, and I think we all knew when this card was released that it was going to get some upgrades, and it has. And as I say, it's a very nice card, and it's another one of these fullbacks which have great utility value because you can play this guy in midfield as well, and in Weekend League I actually do like to sub him on as a CDM if I do not start him because, yeah, the guy is pretty well rounded. But as a right back as a whole, he's got some ridiculous physicals. He's got 92 strength as a base stat. He's also got some pretty nice defensive stats too, and some excellent, some really top tier passing attributes, and obviously the pace is quite nice as well. Also with this guy, you actually get the bonus of having pretty good shooting ability. Not that you'll get to shoot with your right back too much, but as a bonus, it's obviously quite nice. Now, the only issue with this card is his defensive awareness isn't as good as some other right back options, so there's just something to watch out for there. But other than that, excellent card, and as I say, no regrets on doing this SBC. It's time now to get into the top 3, and in the third place spot is What If Mbabu, who for me is just an absolute monster, and I think that's the best way to describe him. He's a beast in game. He's fast, like really quick in game, and he's also got some absolutely ridiculous physicals, and just that alone makes him a really effective fullback because he can literally catch up to anyone, and he's also got the strength to battle with them as well, and 9 times out of 10 is going to take the ball off the would-be attacker with relative ease. Some nice defensive stats on this item as well, and pretty good dribbling. The passing maybe isn't as good as some other fullback options, but for me he makes up for that with his defensive capabilities. Like I've already touched on, I am not too keen on having like attacking fullbacks, ones that are just constantly bombing forward. I like my fullbacks to be able to defend a lot, and that is clearly reflected in some of my top 10 picks. Like a few of you might actually have Mbabu and Tavernier swapped around, if that is the case. So yeah, Mbabu for me, third place there, pretty good. We do have one more Premier League player in this video. In at number 2 is Future Stars Reece James, who, just look at his stats. He's a monster, and in game he's an absolute beast. I hate playing against this card, but I love playing with it. Pace, he's got that. He feels pretty quick, especially when you give him the Anchor or Shadow Chem style. His physicals are ridiculous. Even as a base card, they're mad, but if you give him that Anchor Chem style, his strength is like 98, and yeah, obviously that really does help him out when dispossessing opposition players. Defensive stats are also really strong, and the Anchor Chem style boosts them even more. And then you look at this guy's dribbling, which for a fullback is excellent. Very good agility of 87, and really nice ball control of 90. Also, in terms of attacking, he's got a very good crossing stat of 93, and I just feel like as a fullback, this card is just so good. Like, without doubt for me, the best Premier League right back currently in FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. Now, that might change over the coming weeks if EA release a bunch more, but like as things stand for me, he is just so much better than every other single one, including Team of the Year Trent in that right back role. So who is at number 1? For me, it's Showdown Kleber. Now, I think some people might be surprised that I have him at number 1, but I don't think anyone will be surprised that he's made it into this video, because this is a very popular right back item, and it's just a ridiculous item in game, and also he represents great value for money. I reckon if this card got re-released, a lot of people would go for it, and they would pay more than what the original SBC went for. And it's also worth mentioning, if this item was in, like, let's say the Premier League, like, this card would be like ×5, ×7, something like that, the price that it was. This item is exceptional. The pace is ridiculous, and the physicals are like, they're nearly maxed out with the Anchor Chem style. When he's got Anchor on him, he's got 99 strength, 99 stamina, 96 aggression, and 90 jumping, which is just crazy. And also with the Anchor Chem style, he's got a 98 stand tackle and 95 slide tackle. He's an absolute monster of a card. So yeah, like for me, I hate coming up against this item. I also hate the fact that people use him as a centre back as well, because when he's in that centre back role, he is ridiculous. But as a right back, he's also really, really good. And yeah, as I say, if this guy was easier to get into teams, if he was in a different league, I think you would see him every single game. He would literally be the Mendy of the right back role if this guy was easier to get into weekend league sides. So those are my rankings for the right back spot as things stand in FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. I will of course do an updated version of this list in a few months once more cards are released, but for now those are my top 10 right backs. In the comment section down below, let me know yours, or at least let me know your top 5. In fact, just guarantee you leave a comment. Tell me who your current starting right back is. Also, if you could leave a like rating on the video, that'd be great. And also in the comments, one more thing, let me know which position I should cover next. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.